nerderotic.com.
Do you see the theme?
Do you see? Yeah. Could you see a theme?
Let's see here. So there's lots of the letter A. So I guess there's like a bias in favor of the letter A in comics.
Just read the list.
Okay.
For those of us, people who are not listening.
Actually, I'll go in reverse.
Secondary viewers who are at home vigorously masturbating or mowing the lawn or masturbating while mowing the lawn. Whatever.
We don't judge here. That's my favorite. Number 20, Absolute Batman number 10. Number 19, Absolute Batman Annual number 1. Number 18, Absolute Batman number 12. Number 17, Absolute Martian Manhunter number 1. Number 16, Absolute Batman number 8. Number 15, Batman number 2. Number 14, Absolute Batman number 9. Number 13, Absolute Batman number 6. Number 12, Absolute Batman number 7. Number 11, Absolute Batman 5. Number 10, Absolute Batman 4. Number 9, Absolute Flash number 1. Number 8, Absolute Batman 13. Number 7, Absolute Batman 15. Number 6, Batman 158. Number 5, DC KO number 1. Number 4, Invincible Universe Battle Beast 1. Number 3, Batman Deadpool 1. Number 2, Batman 1. Number 1, Deadpool Batman 1.
What's the idea? Why is it Batman Deadpool 1 and then Deadpool Batman 1?
Because one's done by Marvel and the other's done by DC. The DC one was Batman Deadpool. The Marvel one was Deadpool Batman.
So technically, Marvel did get the number 1 book and then didn't get a book
with Batman
for the rest of the fucking list. So, man, I have been told and Muller that there is a renaissance, that comic books are back, and that according to Rich Johnston from Bleeding Cool, comic shops are opening across the country in droves. I have seen no evidence of this at all. It is no longer a comic industry; it's a Batman industry.
Yeah.
Not even just Batman, like Absolute Batman specifically is just, smashing
absolutely,
it.
I think Absolute Batman, they shifted to comic book stores around 500,000 units, which in today's day and age, by the way, is great. In the 1995 might get your book cancelled.
No, that's phenomenal.
He get books cancelled with like 300 and fucking something thousand.
500,000 units sold is phenomenal. The problem is we don't know if that's a correct number. That is at best an educated guess.
An educated wish.
Now, DC might come out and say we printed that many. Okay. The problem is there's 2 different distributors, and the only way you could get true numbers is if you got the numbers of each individual comic shop.
Yeah.
And hopefully they had a point of sale purchase system where they can, or even an Excel system where they check their inventory. Some don't. A lot don't because they can't afford it, or why bother. So it's undoubtedly a hit, right? Absolute Batman, the Absolute Universe, which is basically DC finally figuring out the Ultimate Universe 20 years later. And good, if you're enjoying it, great. This is fucking terrible. This is absolutely terrible. So terrible, Jim Lee, who has been in charge of DC Comics for almost 3 years now.
I think more.
No, he was made president 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. But he's been an executive. He's been up there for a while. And I've heard nothing but nice things. Like, he's the nicest guy, which is rare when it comes to comic artists in the comic industry, and talented artist. But on his watch, Tim Drake is gay. Superman's son was aged up. Jonathan made gay. And that's just scratching the surface. With Absolute Batman dominating, it shows how it's basically the tallest retard, as Shad would say. It's the tallest retard. It's great that it's happening. The problem is you're not seeing any mainline books charting at all, like at all. And it's an absolute universe where these ultimate universes, and DC has done it before with All-Star, remember? And that was pretty successful. We got All-Star Superman out of it. All-Star Batman and Robin sold well. It took forever to finish. Because of Jim Lee.
Did it finish? I don't even know if it ever finished.
I think it did. It hadn't when did 12 come out? 12 issue. It took 3 years for that to come out. That's part of the problem. 12 issue series. It took 3 fucking years to come out. So there's that. Pull up the. Do you have the tweet from?
I got the Jim Lee thing. Yeah,
the Jim Lee. Pull that up. DC Comics president Jim Lee says the Japanese manga and anime is incredibly powerful. I often find myself wondering what is missing in Western comics and why aren't they able to achieve the same flavor? You mean massive sales to where what arguably one title for manga can outsell the entire comic industry?
Yeah.
Demon Slayer. I think manga has an advantage over American comics, which are mostly about superheroes. Well, now they're mostly just about Batman.
Well, no, yeah, they're just Batman. That's all it is, mate.
Bad enough Batman. When they were just about superheroes. Now they're just about Batman. And that's where the majority of sales and readers are concentrated. In Japan, it's closer to literature and anyone can read it. And it's not just hero stories. There's much wider range of genres, like stories about cooking and soccer. You can draw stories Gary, from that.
Stop for a second. Oh my God. Did Jim Lee just watch an episode of The Real BBC from like 4 fucking years ago?
Uh-huh.
Hey, man, he's catching up.
He's catching up. Remember when Bob Iger discovered video games and he goes, man, these video games might be a future. I'm so very happy that manga has been so successful because it gives me a goal to aim for. Bro, you've been in charge for 3 fucking years. 3 fucking years. And what you've been aiming for is making people fucking gay. And then it got so bad that you were forced to go back to Scott Snyder, a veteran of a long time, to write another Batman story. And I'm glad it's successful, but the 1011th fucking version of Batman is not going to save the comic book industry. It's not. And and I'm passionate about this because it sucks. I love comic books. It's a wonderful hobby and habit I had for many decades that I gave up on because the people were shit, the stories were shit, and the art were shit. And they were actively attacking the customers, which if I was retailing, the first time I got blocked on Twitter, it was because Gail Simone was mixing it up with the customer and I fucking went off on her. It's like, bitch, I got to sell your books. Shut the fuck up. And they continued to do it, alienated a bunch of their audience, and they got a bunch of them back because goddamn comic book fans just want to read good comic books, and bless them for it. And I got no problem with people enjoying Absolute Batman, and I haven't read it, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you it sucks because I have no idea. Maybe it's the greatest thing they've written. Obviously, sales-wise, it must be. But I'll remind you, not to this level, but Batman Metal was pretty popular too.
And that was gobbledygook. With absolutely fucking beautiful art from Greg Capullo.
Yeah, Capullo's fucking dude is a G, man. He is so good.
But the Dark Universe stuff was just fucking gobbledygook.
So I know Rich Johnston from Bleeding Cool recently stated that a bunch of comic stores are opening. I haven't seen any data to prove that, but keep this up. So Southern California Comics, one of the best comic stores in America, by far the best comic store in Southern California because it's a real comic store. It falls under what I think a comic store is. It sells comics and mostly comics, and it's back issues, it's new issues, it's trades, it's collectible books, not many toys, no Funko Pops to be found in there. Jamie was the store owner. He was my mentor. He taught me how to grade comics. He's written a book on how to grade comics. He sold it in December and is retiring. And what led to that decision was the current state of comics. And this is during Absolute Batman. So they just lost one of the best fucking comic stores in the country. And let's keep in mind, this happened a couple of years ago. Meltdown is gone. Like, these are huge comic stores that are gone. And again, it's anecdotal, but I'm just not seeing it. And Az and I have been in conversations with people who haven't seen it either, who are actual retailers. The back issue market is even starting to slip a little bit at this point.
Slowing down for sure.
Buyer's market for sure.
Yes.
And
yes,
it's because this industry lost generations. They got their ass kicked by gaming pretty much even before I bought the store. And then manga started to creep in the early 2000s. And people are arguing on Twitter like, well, the art's better in American comics and the stories are gobbledygook and like whatever. They're beating your ass, and they're beating your ass with your own old formula. Comic books there used to be Western comic books. There used to be romance comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, horror comic books. There was a plethora of comic books. Razorfist has talked about this a lot. And when they went straight to superheroes, and there's a lot of reasons this happened. One of the biggest ones is the retailers. We got to blame the retailers for some of this, because there was a handful of very powerful retailers who really kept this direct market thing going, which worked for a while. But the problem is it stymied the growth of comic book sales, where a lot of retailers kept comic books from being sold in large amounts to 7-Elevens, grocery stores, bookstores.
Yeah,
you should get them anywhere, because they were so fucking insecure. They're like, we want to be the exclusive sellers of comics. It's like, no, that's not how you get new readers. Every comic fan of my age went to a 7-Eleven, went to a grocery store, and bought the comic books there. And it was a handful of retailers, Brian Hibbs, who really got in the way of expanding comic books. And then you know who stole your market share? Market share is a very important thing to bring up. Manga stole your market share. They basically were telling Western stories in a more traditional sense recently than American comic books. It was more engaging. Put the manga sales up next to these comic book sales, and that'll show you. So there's still people out there who want to read this stuff, who are passionate about this stuff. And the comic industry has had years to deal with this. But the problem is you have Jim Lee as president, nice guy, terrible president. And then you have all the leadership at Marvel who's basically been there for decades. And they're all just doing the same shit over and over again. Multiple covers. They're trying to game the system instead of getting people in to read the comic books. Collecting is fine. I'm a collector. But you have to have engaging stories. If people aren't reading the comic books and they're just treating them like baseball cards at this point, now at least Absolute Batman, people are reading it. People are reading it, and that's an accomplishment. And that's your first step. Now, the next step would be you need to put that kind of effort in your mainline titles. You need to get rid of all your fucking activists who are alienating customers and write for everybody. But it's still too fucking late. It's sad. It's incredibly sad. It
price is another thing as well.
Well, the price point is bad, and it has started like a real conversation. Like, why is it easier to get into manga than American comic books? And there's one meme that was great. Is there's one guy holding up volume 1 of a manga, and the other one is like, do I read Batman #1 from 2011 or Batman #1 from 2016 or Batman #1 from 1940 or Batman Year One?
What's one of the biggest questions we get asked, right? When somebody wants to get into something, where do I start? Where do I start? I want to get into Batman. Where do I start?
Yeah. And we usually say, go with Year One.
Which is Batman 403 to 407, whatever. Which is Batman, which isn't even Detective Comics, which has been going longer for Batman.
Listen, this worked for a long time.
Which isn't even current continuity anymore.
Yeah, it's not a system that's working anymore. And they either need to restart. I mean, they're not going to get rid of Batman. It's their biggest IP. He's beating the shit out of Spider-Man right now in comic books anyway. And Marvel doesn't seem to want to do anything about it. They don't seem to care at all that they're getting their ass beat right now. And the industry doesn't take in enough money to hire the talent that they need to bring this back. We know a very talented comic book writer who went to both Marvel and DC and gave proposals to fix shit, and they weren't interested.
No.
They weren't interested.
Oh.
And it's like, it's so fucking frustrating, man. Because I want to see it last forever. I want to see new comic stores open. But, faking it until you make it is just not going to work. That's not a good business strategy at all. And having one great selling comic, listen, Star Wars #1, when it went back to Marvel, sold 1 million copies. 1 million. And it was very popular. Did it save the comic book industry? No, it was during its decline. So it's basically saying like Doomsday will fix the problem. Say Doomsday is great, Mahler. Say it's great. Just let's go out on a limb. Let's say it's great. And it makes $3.5 trillion and 50 pence.
Hey.
Does it fix the MCU? No, not at all. What needs to be done to survive, because you're never going to, the fight is over. Manga has won definitively. It's not even worth fighting. It would be, you're in survival mode now. And if you're in survival mode, you can't put up with creators going out there and attacking fans and, or even being political. I wouldn't be political at all. You don't have that fucking luxury. They're allowed their free speech, but you also need to like tell them, you know what, guys, do you want an industry? Do you want to be working in do you want to like make enough money making comics to where you can pay your rent or your mortgage? Then you need to shut up for a long while. And you need to make good comic books, and you need to make them consistently. And it has to be, they're not one issue away. They're not 1 year away. They need to do stuff consistently good for 2-3 years, and then you might survive. Because right now, all you have is comic book shops to sell this stuff. There used to be comics in Barnes & Noble, which is a bookstore here. There isn't anymore. And I'm talking pamphlet comics, by the way. I'm talking,
floppies.
Yeah. How many years has the BBC been saying this? Can you do more than pontificate, rage, and bemoan like old toothless men?
But that's apathy, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm confused. What do they want us to revive the comic industry? The three of us?
No. They're saying that what Jim Lee's saying today is what we've been saying for fucking years.
Yeah.
But they want us to be a little bit more animated about it, I believe. But this is just it. When you've been talking about this over and over again for donkey's years, there's only so many times that you can sort of bring that fire. How many times can we say this? We've said it time and time again. We've been dismissed to go, oh, no, comics are great, comics this, comics that. Then suddenly the president of DC goes, fuck me, there's these things called manga.
Somebody should do something about this.
Have you seen them? Have you seen this? It's this whole thing by Japan. They're another country, no. Just like, you can
people read them.
Just gotta shake your head.
He's got something to aim for, though.
Jeez, what the fuck is this? I'm so very happy that the manga has been so successful because it gives me something to aim at.
Oh, that's good.
Fucking a picture of Jim Lee on a dartboard, something to fucking aim at.
Meanwhile, the company that owns us is billions in debt and for sale. And if Netflix takes over, they will own DC Comics.
Hold on. Hey, look, somebody's just somebody's done this on social media. Hold on, let me have a look. Hey, I asked Grok to take comic book sales and merge them with manga sales to give me a top 10 bestsellers list of 2025. Should we have a look? See?
Let's take a look.
Let's have a look. Where do you think
Grok will get it right?
Where do you think Deadpool and Batman will chart?
Will it chart?
Exactly. It won't. Not with manga. Not when you bring manga. When you bring manga to the table, no, you don't get a fucking sniff.
No, that stuff sells in the millions.
Yes. The fragrant flower blooms with dignity. New romance hit. 2.04 million units sold, approximately. By the way, top 10 type manga. My Hero Academia, 2.1 million. The Apothecary Diaries, 2.25 million. Sakamoto Days, 2.34 million. Blue Box, 2.39 million. Kingdom, 2.5 million. Blue Lock, 3.01 million. Dan with a 3.52 million. Jujutsu Kaisen with a 3.92 million. And One Piece with 4.21 million.
Jesus.
And from bottom to top again, their styles are romance, ongoing series, popular mystery / romance, anime adaptation, doubled sales, romance, sports, rising star, long-running historical series, consistent performer, breakout hit with an anime push, strong finale boost. So that's come to an end. And then reclaim the #1 spot globally was One Piece.
Hail Luffy. 4.21 million.
So these are, yeah. I mean, these, yeah. So US are getting nowhere close to any of this.
Well, and that's another part of the problem, as you know, that we've been saying for years. Apologies, not really. Is the sales are padded. They're padded with multiple covers.
Very
and people slabbing them. So if you get to the percentage of the people who actually read the book, I think it's rough. It's between 30 to 50% of those units sold to customers that read the book. It's shockingly low. So, and there's completists. There's a lot of people who get the comics, throw them in their box, don't read them. And you need people to read. You need people to read them.
But yeah, as was said before, I mean, there we saw romance. There's manga on sports. There's manga on fishing. There's manga on all kind, just regular kind of stuff. And some of it fails. Some of it just doesn't get an audience. But then they just go back and they try and get something else going, and you'll find that there tends to be. I know One Piece has been going for a good while, but there tends to be a really good sort of revolution of in and out. This comes in for a bit, then it goes out, then this comes in for a bit, then this goes out, and this comes in. But the biggest thing is that they conform to what I would call normal gender stereotypes. I don't want to pick up a copy of Batman 2, and have Tim Drake's boyfriend berating Bruce fucking Wayne. It's just like I'm already out. Thank you, sir. Done.
So, somebody posted yesterday some beautiful Alex Ross art.
Alex Ross.
Utterly beautiful. He's a genius. And said, well, manga can't do this. So first off, are you sure? I wouldn't say that definitively, but even if they can't, and Alex Ross, again, genius. How many Alex Ross books do we get on the regular?
Books, not a lot on the reg. Covers, but completed books beginning to end once a decade? Thereabouts.
Yeah, once a decade.
A lot of covers. And that's where comic books kind of lost its way with when the comic art moved away from the Sal Buscema, John Buscema, Bob Layton's, John Burns, and got overly detailed, and it takes longer to produce, and it looks really nice, and it's good for prestige stuff. That's what Mark Bagley, was able to succeed for so long. He's a comic artist. Like, he gets shit out. They also need to go back to that a little more. And they don't have the talent anymore because they can't afford them. There's artists out there who are still perfectly capable of doing that stuff, but they won't hire them. I think political.
It's money.
Is always political.
And money.
Yeah, can't afford them, or their political stance doesn't align with not that a comic book company should have a political stance, but somehow every corporation has decided that it has now.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.